In this lesson, I'd like to take some time to talk about reference geometry. We've created a few planes and a couple of axes, but I'd like to go through the interfaces for these tools in more detail. You can find the reference geometry tools on the Features tab of the Command Manager under the symbol that looks like a plane with an axis and a point. In fact, the plane, axis, coordinate system, point, and mate reference make up the entire list of reference geometry. Of these, the plane is by far the most frequently used item. After that, the axis is very useful and used from time to time. Coordinate system has some specific uses that we'll go through, and the point tool is fairly rarely used, although I think if you see some of the things that it can do, you may come up with more uses for it. Mate reference is a tool that's used primarily in library parts as an assistant to help you mate parts into an assembly very quickly. Let's get started by talking about the plane tool. The property manager for the plane tool doesn't have very many instructions, and it has 3 selection boxes. So if you have an idea of how you would like to create a plane, SOLIDWORKS is pretty confident that the software will figure out what you're trying to do. For example, if I want to make a plane that's offset from the front view, SOLIDWORKS knows this by just clicking on the front plane. I can offset this by changing the distance. You can also flip that distance, and something that is not commonly used is you can make a series of planes all offset by the same distance. You can also create an offset plane by selecting an existing plane, holding down Control, and then dragging that plane out. This is just a shortcut to initiate the same interface that we used before. Use the right mouse button to accept the feature. Other types of planes that you can create are, say, a plane at a midpoint of an edge, perpendicular to the edge. To accomplish this, just select the midpoint and select the edge, and then make sure that the edge reference is set to perpendicular and the point reference is set to coincident. If we clear these references, you can also select a spherical surface or any complex surface, really, and a point, and SOLIDWORKS creates a plane that's tangent to the face and coincident or projected from the vertex. And as you can see, these references do not have to be in any particular order. Let's try another one. Clear all the selections again. Let's try to make a plane that is midway between these 2 faces. Let's see if SOLIDWORKS picks it up. Okay, we've got the midplane option. And the option doesn't show up until you have the proper things selected. So it's hard to predict exactly what SOLIDWORKS will want to do until you try to do it. So in this case, we have symmetric draft on 2 sides of the rib, and we can create a new plane from those 2 faces such that the plane is right down through the middle of the rib. So the plane tool is something you will need to experiment with in order to use it effectively. There's not a particular list, even in the SOLIDWORKS help, of what it can actually do, nor is there a list of what it cannot do. Let's move on to the axis tool. The axis interface is actually like the plane interface used to be several releases ago, where there are specific modes by which you can create an axis. If you have a line or an edge and you want to create an axis from that, then the first selection is the one you want. You can create an axis at the intersection of 2 planes, and this is one that I will use right here. So let's go to the front plane and the right plane. Notice that we get a preview for an axis here. Now, this type of axis is a great idea, and we've used it a couple of times as a direction of pull. So I'm going to rename this as direction of pull. And I would even be able to reorder this back just under the origin. You can't take anything before the origin. And if you were to delete the rest of the features in this part, you could save this part with the direction of pull as a template, which would be a great idea for a plastic part template, to have a direction of pull axis already established in the part. Another way in which you might choose to use the axis tool are with two vertices. So you could pick a point here and pick a point here. And SOLIDWORKS creates an axis from that selection. Any cylindrical or conical face, you can create an axis from those, although those should already have a temporary axis. And another one is the point and face. So we could achieve the same sort of axis as the tangent plane that we created earlier by selecting a curved face and a point, and the axis is perpendicular to the face at that point. Axes are very useful for things like some of the plastic features that we have seen and for references made as part of pattern features. The coordinate system requires that you specify the point at which you want the origin to lie, and then start aligning the X, Y, and Z axes. If you're doing this with a plastic part, be careful because some of the edges in a plastic part, such as this one, are going to be at an angle or possibly at a compound angle. In this case, we have a compound angle because this face has draft on it, and this face also has draft on it. So this edge is not orthogonal to the existing coordinate system. Once you've established a coordinate system for your part, the coordinate system looks like this in the graphics window, and it looks like this in the feature manager. You can use coordinate systems to reorient the origin of parts being translated in or out of SOLIDWORKS, and there are other situations in which they come in handy. Many users can use SOLIDWORKS for a long time without ever touching the coordinate system tool at all. And even rarer is the reference point feature. However, reference point has some very interesting applications, and many users don't even know about these. The modes of operation for the reference point are at the center of an arc, which can be useful. At the center of a face, and let's demonstrate this one. If I select this face, SOLIDWORKS is selecting a point that's actually not touching the face. You can also create a reference point at a projection point. So say we had a plane and we wanted to see where this point was projected onto that plane. SOLIDWORKS would create a reference point feature on that plane at that point. And this is how it's displayed in the graphics window. The next is probably the most useful of all of the reference point applications. And let's say we select a curved edge, such as this big curved edge here. SOLIDWORKS will equally space a set of points about that particular edge. You can also place them by distance. So in this case, you can see all of the points are distributed along that edge using this particular distance. Evenly distribute, again, is kind of a misnomer because the distance setting is an evenly distributed, but evenly distribute calculates the distance on its own. You can also place points at a given percentage along the curve. So if the curve changes length, this is recalculated automatically. Again, the mate reference will be discussed in a later chapter. It generally involves selecting a circular edge to allow a hole in one part to snap to the hole in another part.